Hey everybody, welcome back to the AS Clamar YouTube channel. Now, I'm gassed, look at it. I was going to do an unboxing for this and the t-shirt that arrived and the RAM that I've just installed in my computer. However, silly little me forgot to record me unboxing the RAM, and if I'm being totally honest, I opened this quicker than I could say hello. So, yellow, green, small turquoise, pink, dark blue, pink, blue, dark blue. I'm gassed. This, by far, the comfiest thing I own. Anyway, shout out Simon Clothing. Love it, absolutely love it. Anyway, it is well up. As you can see, we're still in the mix of redecorating my brother's room. We've just got him a new bed, which is pretty cool. They did order a bed about 2 weeks ago. That broke. That was, by far and large, the worst bed I've ever seen. You might as well have had nothing. You might as well just had a mattress on the floor, because that's where the mattress ended up. Anyway, we're going to get into this. I haven't eaten, hence my weird rambling. We're cooking as soon as they get back from whatever they're doing. So I've got a quick time to record this, and as you can tell from the title, as you can see, I've created this little bit of a graphic on Excel. So this is the current current table for the Premier League. I'm going to quickly put my prediction ready for the restart. Obviously, as you're watching this, there's a game in an hour's time, which is Aston Villa Sheffield. That's on the Wednesday. Then we've got Man City Arsenal at 8 o'clock tonight. That is going to be insane. I'm obviously recording this a few days beforehand, but what we're gonna do is predict the table for the end of the season based on where they are now, ready for the restart. Re-predicting the Premier League table, and I'm also going to do game week end 1. This is going to be Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays matches. I may or may not do a game week 2, but I haven't really got a place to fit it in my schedule. It might end up coming out on Tuesday, and obviously game weekend 2 will start on the Monday. So I will have pre-recorded it. That's just a little throw in there, if I do put it out anyway. I will have pre-recorded it, so I wouldn't be able to guess the result, or I wouldn't already know the result. But anyway, so I think the obvious choice is Liverpool. Liverpool are going to win the league. They only need to win, I think, 2 more matches. Something like that. And they've pretty much secured it, I think, if I'm correct in saying that. However, it could be a little bit different. I believe that Man City will come second, even though they won't end up getting these places. Now, this bit of the table is going to be a bit... I think it stays pretty much as it is. Leicester, and I do think Chelsea are going to hold out, because we have some good games. We've got Aston Villa, who are already down there. Not that it's really going to make much of a difference. I don't think Chelsea playing Aston Villa is going to be a top third to bottom table clash, because we're restarting that late on that it's just trying to get back into it. It could be like an odd result. The same with Man United Tottenham. Anything could happen in that game. I really hope for the first time ever Tottenham win that, because it means they go up to 44 points and Man United stay down, and then Chelsea could win. Anyway, so who do I think is going to finish here? I personally think Wolves will finish there. No, it's got to be Man United, hasn't it? Man United. And then I do think... Let me just double check this. Arsenal and Sheffield. Oh wait, hang on. I'm going to go Sheffield here, because Sheffield have a game in hand over Wolves and Man United currently. They're on 28. Everyone else has played 29 bar Man City, but Man City's fine. So if they get another 3 points, who do they play? They play Aston Villa. If they beat Aston Villa in the first game back, they got to 46 points, and they're ahead of Man United and Wolves. So I'm going to put Sheffield in that second spot. I do think Man United will win most of their games, although they have got Tottenham. Oh, anything can happen, can't it, lads? So here, I'm going to put Wolves. I'm going to put Arsenal also have a game in hand, which if they win, they go up to 43 points, which puts them level with Wolves and above Tottenham. So I'm going to put Arsenal there. And then I think Tottenham's got to go there, surely. So, based on that, that's the top half of the table. Man City won't have Champions League, which means Man United will probably get it. And then Sheffield and Wolves will get these Europa League spots, and it will leave Arsenal and Tottenham in a bit of a pickle, because Arsenal do have a game in hand, but it is against Man City, who again also have a game in hand. I can see Man City winning that. So, it still puts them down here. That's why I haven't shoved Arsenal back up there or above Wolves, is because their game in hand is against Manchester City, and that's a tough game. Whereas Sheffield is against Aston Villa. Didn't mean to do that. Who else? That's the only team that's got a game in hand. Arsenal, Sheffield, and Man City, yeah. So the game in hands are being played on Wednesday. Aston Villa, Sheffield, Arsenal, Man City. Arsenal I don't think are going to win. Man City will solidify their lead. But then after this, anything can happen. So we've got Burnley, Crystal Palace, Everton, all within space of 2 points. So I do think Everton are going to get that spot. If I'm being totally confident, I might put Southampton there as well. Everton, Southampton. That's pretty cool. Then I'll probably end up going Crystal Palace. I can't spell. Crystal Palace and then Newcastle. Because I just think that's what's going to happen. I don't know if that's not capitalled. So we've done Crystal Palace, Everton, Newcastle, Southampton. So that's rearranged those, and then it comes to the bottom of this table. Now, first and foremost, I do think Norwich are going to go down, and I do think Aston Villa are going to go down. I think Aston Villa have a tough run of games towards the end of the season, or am I wrong? Chelsea, Wolves, Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal. I can't see them winning many of those. And then you've got the likes of Everton and West Ham and Crystal Palace, and Newcastle, who are all in contention for this middle of the place thing. So I think Aston Villa are going to be bottom. Let's go back. Let's take a look at Bournemouth then. Who have Bournemouth got left to play? They have Crystal Palace. That's an okay game for them. They could easily win that. Wolves is tough. Newcastle again, a middle table team. Man United, Tottenham, Leicester, Man City. I'm going to keep the bottom three as it is. I think they've got really tough games. All three of them have got... In fact, how are Norwich just stacking up? They might have some easy games. They've got Everton, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea and Man City. They've got... It's not looking good for these. But then again, Watford and West Ham are on the same amount of points as Bournemouth. So let's have a look at West Ham. Watford, sorry. Watford have got Leicester, Burnley, Southampton. They've only got Chelsea, Arsenal and Man City. So they've got the easier run. They've got a Watford who are in contention. No, Watford, sorry. They've got a Norwich who are bottom. They've got a Newcastle who are only a couple of places above them. They've got a Burnley. I've missed that Burnley. Bollocks. Shit. Okay, so this is where we have to rejig a little bit. I think Burnley are going to finish above Southampton. How are Southampton's games? Sheffield, so they've got Bournemouth, Brighton, Everton, Man City, Watford, and Arsenal, Man City. No, Arsenal, Man United. And Norwich, yeah, Southampton have got a bit of an easier run. So... I think Burnley are going to finish there. I think that's... So they drop a place, Everton climb 2 places, Crystal Palace drop a little bit. And then it's just between Brighton, West Ham and Watford. Who do I think... In fact, in all honesty, if there's any chance of getting out of relegation, it's Bournemouth. So I'm going to go like that. Watford are dropping. Brighton. How are Brighton's runs? How are Brighton's games stacking up? They've got Wolves, Arsenal, Leicester, Man United, Liverpool, Man City. And then one game against Norwich in between all of those fixtures. So they have Arsenal, Leicester, Man United, then it's Norwich, then it's Liverpool, then it's Man City, and then they have 3 okay games of Southampton, Newcastle and Burnley at the end of that. I think Brighton have fucked it here. I'm going to say Bournemouth climb out, Brighton head down, and West Ham, because they have an okay team to be fair. Felipe Anderson's decent, Fabianski's good. I think that's how it's going to end. What do you guys reckon? In fact, let's go like that. No. In fact, yeah, let's go like that. That's not doubled out. Okay, let's go like that. Beautiful. And then so Liverpool get the league, that's fine. Man City don't get Champions League because they're banned, so it goes to Leicester, Chelsea and Man United. That's fair enough. Sheffield and Wolves end up with Europa. Arsenal and Tottenham miss out. I'm happy with that. Norwich, Aston Villa and Watford go down. I can see that happening because they've got a proper 6-point gap. Norwich have, just to get out or just to draw level with 3 people that are already relegation candidates. I think Bournemouth can bring it back. Brighton have got a really tough run. Southampton is okay because they've got a decent squad. I can see them jumping up places. So overall, it's not too bad. So let's move on to the score predictions. These are like mini bets between ourselves. So Aston Villa and Sheffield. I've said this from to my mate this morning. I can see the first game back being a draw. In fact, let's go like this. Phil. I can see the first game. Why has that gone funny? I don't know. I can see it being a draw, which is a bit of a shame because I think it's going to be tough for teams to get back into it. And I think Aston Villa and Sheffield are 2 of those teams where Sheffield have been doing incredible this season. They've done an absolute madness. But at the same time, it's all about form and the confidence that they're going back into the games with. If they can go in confident, it could be 3-0. Could be 3-2, but I think Aston Villa are also very good opponents that have bottled it quite a bit this season. Man City, Arsenal, I think it's 3-1 Man City. In fact, then we go like this. Just make it look a bit pretty. So, Man City 3, Arsenal 1. I can see Arsenal losing it, with the lack of defenders at the back. They have got quite a full squad back now, but at the same time, will it be any match for Man City? Probably not. If Pep's been training as soon as he's been allowed to train back, the regimes that them players will have been on, compared to Arsenal's, is probably so much better. I can just see Pep getting so incredibly organised with how he trains the players and gets them back to match fit. He's probably getting them roaring. So that's close. Norwich and Southampton. I'm going to go 2-1 to Southampton here. I do think that Southampton have the necessary squad to deal with Norwich at the best of times. There's so much. There are a lot more points above. I think it could be a nice boost up to that 12th spot to put them into this sort of position already. And Norwich, like I say, they came up with a good squad. They started off well, and they really haven't performed since. In fact, let me take a look. When's the last time? So they beat Tottenham on penalties, but they lost. They beat Leicester actually. Lost to Wolves, lost to Liverpool, drew to Newcastle, beat Burnley, lost to Tottenham, beat Bournemouth, lost heavily to Man United, beat Preston, but then drew to Crystal Palace, drew to Tottenham, lost to Aston Villa, So it seems like they're playing a bit of a defensive game. When they have won, it's been by 1 goal. And very fortunate at the end of the day. But you never know, it could happen. But I think Southampton going forward have a little bit more to offer. What's the last game against Southampton? Southampton won 2-1, so I can see it happening again. So, with Tottenham and Man United is a bit of a different one. It's very similar to the Man City Arsenal one in the sense that I think, personally, it might go the complete opposite way, because I think this is probably the only one that's going to be the hardest to predict in these first few fixtures. I think that Mourinho is going to be able to rally his players up to play in a specific way faster than Ollie will, in a sense that if there's any sort, I don't know, I do think Tottenham are going to win 2-1, and I hate to say it. I hope Tottenham win 2-1, because at the end of the day, this is the third time I've had to record me talking about Tottenham Man United, because my brother came back, a doorbell went downstairs, something happened, dog was barking, anyway. So I do think Tottenham are going to win it, on the basis that managerial wise and probably player wise in a sense, I don't know. I just think Tottenham are going to be able to regroup a little bit better, especially after the back of the injuries that everyone had. Although I suppose Pogba will be straight back into the lineup. I don't want it to be a thing at Man United where certain players go straight back in. I know none of the players are really match fit, but at least the players that were playing before the big break knew how to play the specific style or something of it. I don't know. It's going to be tough. I do think Tottenham are going to win it just because I think Mourinho is the better manager out of the two. Watford, Leicester. I think that's pretty obvious. I'm going to go Leicester 3, Watford 1. On the basis that Leicester are at the top of the table. They've got an incredible team. Harvey Barnes, by the way, is probably one of the most underrated players this season. His stats are better than Jack Grealish's, and Jack Grealish has been hyped up something chronic. If you go and have a look on the Premier League website at assists, goals, minutes played, games played, they're so similar, but Harvey Barnes beats him. Yet no one's talking about Harvey Barnes, are they? Incredible scenes. Anyway, I think 3-1's are pretty... I do think, this is another thing that you might see, I do think that every team will score, unless it's a major, like Liverpool. I don't think Everton are going to score. Oh, that could be close. Oh, it's the Merseyside derby on Sunday. So we've got Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United, Chelsea are playing, and it's the Merseyside derby. What a week of football. Anyway, Arsenal, Brighton. Leicester just going to trounce on Watford. I think that's, with the break or without the break, it's like us playing QPR. Chelsea played QPR and beat them whatever score. I think it was 7-0 in the end or something like that, or 7-1 or 2. Arsenal versus Brighton. This is another one where I think it's just going to be... I actually think it's going to be 2-0. Sorry, guys. I don't think Brighton have the attacking qualities in comparison to Brighton's defensive qualities. No, in terms of Arsenal's defensive, I think Arsenal's attack beats Brighton's defence every day of the week. Brighton's attack doesn't even come... Arsenal haven't got the best defence. But then again, Bellerin's back. Socrates, and it's going to have to be Mustafi, isn't it? Can come back. David Luiz, I don't know. So I suppose that's another tough game, either way. And I do think Wolves are going to beat West Ham. So Wolves 2-1 against West Ham, I could see happening. Just because Wolves are so much better. They've got a lot better quality in terms of the team as a whole compared to the likes of West Ham. But again, West Ham do have great attacking capabilities. I think where they lose the ball is in that midfield. They haven't got the best centre midfielders. They've got decent wingers. They've got Hola, who's a great striker, albeit not performed to the top of his ability. We've got Ogbonna in defence and a few others. You've got Declan Rice that either sits defence or CDM. You've got Fabianski in goal. They've got an okay defence. It's that centre midfield where they're lacking quite a bit. Or at least they're lacking a bit of creativity anyway. Sorry, my hands are peeling. And to finish off Saturday's games, we have Bournemouth, Crystal Palace. Now, both sat towards the bottom of the table. Crystal Palace sitting ever so slightly higher up. So, on that basis, I'm going to go for another 1-1. I think it could be. You can't predict it. So, personally, I'm going to go 1-1. Crystal Palace, if Zaha performs, can score. Bournemouth, on the other hand, Nathan Ake's there, he can perform. You've got, who's the goalkeeper? Is it Borich still? Artur Borich? I think it is still Artur Borich. They've got an okay defence. You've got Ryan Fraser down the wing. And they've got King up top. You can score. Crystal Palace, alternatively, Wayne Hennessy in goal. Not as brilliant of a defence, but much better sort of like forward action. So, yeah, that ends Saturday's game. I can see it being 1-1. Or it could be 3-0 either team, depending on... It's hard to predict the first one because it's all going to be about how well the teams come out and try and play football. If, like the Bundesliga, we saw a little bit of a slow start. You know, the first half from Dortmund was a little bit... And then as soon as they got into the game and got back to playing proper football, it was brilliant. But I don't think they had any friendlies before they were allowed back. Whereas we've been allowed to get a little bit much sharp. So hopefully it's going to be a bit more entertaining. Now moving into Sunday's matches, we've got Sheffield Newcastle. Now that's going to be an easy 3-1 Sheffield. In fact, no, it's not. It's going to be a 2-1 Sheffield. Because Sheffield are just currently far more superior to Newcastle. If Newcastle get the takeover, it's something that I'm going to be really happy with and delighted about. I can't wait to see that. But I do think Sheffield just defensively are so much better and so much more capable. Coming up to the last is the Chelsea-Everton game. I would like to say this is going to be 3-1. No. 3-1 to Chelsea, obviously. I'm not an idiot. In the case that Chelsea sat in fourth, Aston Villa sat second to the bottom. You know, Tammy Abraham going back to his old squad, hopefully can perform. We've got everyone back pretty much now. Loftus-Cheek is looking so sharp in training. I really hope he gets a bit of a run out in some of these. You've got to also remember that we've got more subs as well. This break is going to have benefited teams such as Chelsea because they're going to have a much better squad depth. So whereas Aston Villa can bring on 5 subs, their 4th and 5th, or maybe just even their 5th sub, might not be up to the scratch, whereas Chelsea can bring on Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi if they've played Pulisic and Willian. You can bring on Pedro, you can bring on Giroud, you can bring on any of the 2 good centre-backs. You can bring on Kante if you haven't started with Kante, or Jorginho, or Kovacic, or Mount, depending on which of the midfielders you've started with. We've got a lot of depth at the minute, and I think that's where Lampard's going with his transfer philosophy. I think we discussed that a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago. So I do think Chelsea, specifically with the subs, can have a bit more of an impact towards the end of the game anyway. And then Everton-Liverpool. This is a bit of an easy one. In fact, I might have accidentally put 3-0 as in Everton because I typed 3 first, but I meant obviously Liverpool. I do think Liverpool are going to go out with a bang. They're going to score loads of goals, but I do think the Merseyside derby is always the case. It's always a bit of a spectacle, and always something pops up. And so I do think Everton might be able to put 2 past, just because the defence aren't really going to be as lively as they probably could be. So let's fill that in. And then they are my predictions. We've got Aston Villa 1-0. Man City Arsenal is 3-1. Norwich and Southampton's 2-1 Southampton. 2-1 Tottenham against Man United. Then 3-1 Leicester against Watford. 2-0 Arsenal against Brighton. Wolves 2-1 against West Ham. Crystal Palace and Bournemouth 1-0. Sheffield 2-1 against Newcastle. Chelsea 3-1 against Aston Villa, and Liverpool 3-2 against Everton. And then that is all of this week's games. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Maybe come back to this on Friday or Saturday or Sunday to see how well we did. And I shall catch you guys in next week's